dias.
Buenos dias.
This is our trip to Puerto Rico.
What's up?
Hey. When I saw that the University of Dayton Campus Ministry was offering a trip to Puerto Rico, I knew that I had to go. It wasn't actually a place that has ever been on my mind, but I knew it was a place that I've always wanted to go and explore. Just being another island in the middle of the ocean, I felt similar connections to my home in Hawaii. I just want to experience the culture, step out of my comfort zone, and explore with a great group of people. My first impressions of Puerto Rico was that it was hot. We had a long drive ahead of us actually. We were going all the way up to the mountains, and I didn't realize that we were going to be driving up a steep cliff, no guardrails on the side. And it was honestly one of the most terrifying things that I've ever been part of. It was like poop. Now it was a crazy drive. There's all these windy roads, and honestly I was scared throughout the entire time. Elaine, E-Money, even though she was whipping around these corners, I thought at one point we were going to fall off the cliff and that was going to be the end of it. Luckily, we actually made it to the top, and we will spend the next 3 days up in these mountains at this tiny retreat center owned by the Marinists. You have anything to say, Trey? What do you think of this? Paradise. Now this is really simple living. There is no hot water. The water pressure really sucked. The bathroom, it's kind of nasty. We had to share these bunk beds, and there were a ton of mosquitoes. But honestly, it made me appreciate the things that I do have in it. I really took this lesson to heart. Even though we're cramped, 4 dudes in one tiny room, we actually really got along with each other. Even though Dawson smelled really bad. How you doing? Haha, you a happy dog. Huh. So we would spend a total of 3 days in the mountains. And honestly, it was really relaxing. No distractions from the outside world. We spent a lot of time just bonding with one another. We got to do a lot of cool things too as well. We got to visit the rainforests and actually see a lot of cool sights that not too many people get the chance to see. It really opened my eyes to just the simplicity of life and the greatness that comes from being still and silent.
Anybody else?
Thank you. So it's cold water. That's why it makes it's called maybe
In the jungles of Puerto Rico. Never thought we'd be walking through a jungle in Puerto Rico. Not too hot. It's pretty relaxing. Yes, Diego. What do you think about Puerto Rico so far?
I think it's super great, but I'm super scared to go back down this mountain.
Yeah, look at this, how high we are. So we made it to the top. It is. Probably the most impactful part of this trip was during our first service project. We met a guy named Jorge who lived in the mountains and was really poor. He built this house with very few resources, and due to depression and other things happening in his life, it fell into disrepair. Honestly, just going into the house, you could just smell the amount of mildew and the amount of human feces that just permeated throughout the house. And honestly, it was rough.
What?
Make sure you're diluting the bleach with water.
Even though I thought Jorge's living situation was bad, when we finally got to meet him at the end of our time there, he was one of the most happiest and friendliest persons that I've ever met. He shook my hand and thanked me for just being a part of it. Even though I couldn't speak any Spanish, I just looked in his eyes and felt the genuine sense of appreciation. The most interesting story about Jorge's life was that he actually won the lottery, but because he's illiterate, got scammed and only took home $800 of the $12,000 of his earnings, and actually built the house with those earnings.
So we cleaned up the house in Puerto Rico.
A lot of bleach in the hair. Gotta take a break. Take an air break. Even though Jorge lacked wealth, he was rich in spirit. He was rich in happiness. And that really taught me something. Money can't buy happiness. Happiness comes from within and making an impact for those around you. We learned that Jorge gives so much to his neighbors by helping them farm, giving what little he has to those around him, and continuing to serve even those less fortunate than him. And that's someone I really looked up to. That's someone who I define as successful. Currently in the hills of Kentucky. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So look at that guy. Okay, so this is day 3, 2, 3, 2.5, 2.5. It's Monday.
Can I show them my sunburn?
Yeah, sure. Look at Morgan's sunburn. It's pretty bad.
It's still pasty.
So
Lake Erie.
cleaned up a lot of poop. Cleaned up a lot of poop from this guy's house. Yeah, we just scooped up poop.
Pope Francis in modern the modern world.
Yeah, there's a lot of poop in the house.
Saw 2 scorpions.
Oh, it's 2 scorpions. A lot
I
of
killed
mud.
one with Clorox.
A lot of mud too.
Yeah.
Scoop the poop, but scoop the poop was fun.
Saw a lot of cockroaches.
A lot of roaches. Sometimes in life we get too caught up in the hustle and bustle and the noise that continually distracts us.
If you wanted to.
There are no distractions in the mountains. And that was the greatest thing about it. The only noise came from the laughter we shared with one another. And that was probably the most fulfilling thing that I've experienced before.
If you get him, how do I know what I am? If you get him.
Look at that, man. Wow. It's not a boy, it's a man. So after spending a lot of reflection and a lot of great time in the mountains, it was time to head back into the city and actually have some fun at this point. Really introduce ourselves to what Puerto Rico has to offer. Puerto Rico was so beautiful, and honestly, I think the most amazing thing was just being able to share this experience with so many different people, with so many amazing people that one of us has never been on an airplane, some of us have never left the United States, and some of us have actually never been to a beach before. But we all came together to share this one experience. It was so cool to witness that everyone was stepping outside of their comfort zone together, and seeing that growth was something that really blossomed in my eyes. There's a ton of things that I'll remember from this trip, but I think the biggest thing that sticks in my mind are the people. The people really were amazing on this trip. Everything from E-Money's driving skills, Morgan's just a funny personality and sassiness, Paula to being a crazy leader, Rev D's negative, and just everyone on this trip. We're at the Boys and Girls Club. How do you feel? Clubbing. We're at the club. We're at the club. Hey, what do you feel about this club? What do you feel about this club?
What a shit.
I don't have to be 21 and that's all that matters.
Oh shit, I forgot the shit.
I'm so glad that we all made memories together. And sorry I can't give a shout out to everyone, but know that you have a special place in my heart. And I'll continue to think of this time and all of you guys in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you for teaching me how to live, laugh, and love, and for one of the most amazing times of my life. Even though we crashed 2 cars, spent way too much money, stayed up too late, talked too loud, and had too much fun, this trip was an overall success. This is something I'll remember forever and cherish forever. It's because of you guys for sharing this moment with me.
What we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss
sad. I don't want to leave.
Not looking back. Eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde. A classic cliche, we're on the run. This is what we waited for.